This is 9.2, doing a hypothesis testing and confidence interval for a population mean with two population mean independent samples case. So this is question 6. Refer to COLA and use a 0.05 significant level to test the claim that because they contain the same amount of cola, the mean weight of the regular Coca-Cola is the same mean weight as the diet Coca-Cola. And then if there's a difference, then identify the most likely explanation for the difference. So this question now is not calling us to find a confidence interval. It's calling us to do what we call as a hypothesis testing because test the claim is in here. So again, for this case, you do need to, you have to do all 6 steps to do your hypothesis testing. So because this is your claim statement, it says that your regular Coca-Cola is different from, is the same as the Diet Cola. So as usual, we always have to use the first, you have to declare your population. So population 1 in this case is going to be your regular Coca-Cola. The reason why we use regular Coca-Cola in this case is because it came out the first in your sentence. And then population 2 in this case is your diet Coca-Cola because it came on the second one. Again, class, this is very important because if you mix these two up, your answer will be all going to be wrong. Okay, so in order for us to figure this one out, to write your hypothesis statements, your mu1 is going to be equals to your mu2 for your null hypothesis. For your alternative hypothesis, your mu1 in this case is not equals to mu2. The reason why you use not equals to and equals to because the claim here is testing for is that the same. Same means equal. So that means that this is your claim statement in this case, means is that equal to. In order for us to find what is the sampling distribution, again, because this is talking about mean. So for all mean type, we're going to use t distribution in this case. Okay. Next, in order for us to figure out your test statistics and your p-value, you have to use your R to figure it out. So how do we use your R to figure it out is we look back at your notes. Again, because we are doing hypothesis testing, we are concentrating on the green one. Previous two question 4 we used the BSDA, but since this question provide us the file name and the variables, so we are not using library BSDA here. We are using this t-test xy mu alternative and var. So again, if you compare this with the one that we just did previously, it's just a little bit different. It's because this one needs confidence level and this one has the alternative and the mu. Same thing like what we did in BSDA. So you can actually change those questions, change those, change some of these wordings in your syntax here, and you will get your answer for this case. So let's go back to your R. So in order for us to do this, first we have to assign. So we already call X out as a read table. Remember, we call the caller out. And on the previous example, we used P and D for the Pepsi case. So now we're going to use Coca-Cola case. So now we're going to use C for Coca-Cola. So, so we're going to use C equals to X money sign CKREGWT. This is for Coca-Cola with a regular weight. For Diet Coke, I'm going to use DC because D is used just now for the Diet Pepsi. So I'm going to use DC for Diet Coke. So now I have to type in a little bit more, which is fine. CKDTWT. This is just for the Coca-Cola Diet Coca-Cola weight. So in order for us to do that, we will use the t-test. So it's t-test, C for Coca-Cola, DC for the Diet Coca-Cola. Mu in this case is 0. Again, we always use mu equals 0 when you do two sample tests or two population testing here. And then alternative in this case will be two-sided. The reason why we use alternatives two-sided here is because we are testing against that is equal or not equal to, so it's two-sided. And don't forget the var dot equal is equals to false. Don't forget about that statements. So this is your test. This is your how do we type it out? I'm going to copy and paste right here for your R word here, so you get your points in your test. Oh, I forgot to do that in my previous one. Yep, I did forget to do my previous one, so I'm going to do it for my previous There you go. So this is your remember, make sure you put that in your in this, so you get a point in your test. So in this case, we can tell what is your test statistic in this case. Your test statistic in this case is given us by the t. For this question that we have is 22.095, and the p-value in this case is given us by, again, this is less than 2.2 e to the negative 6. In this case, it's very small, even smaller than the 0 plus. So so with this, we will make the decision here, and your decision will stay, since your p-value is smaller than your alpha. Again, your alpha in this case is 5%. I believe it's 5%. Let me check. Yep, it's a 5%. So we will find out that your decision here is we will reject your null hypothesis. Okay. And now we have to make your conclusion. So in order for us to do your conclusion, we will look back at the table. If you remember the table that we have here. So this is what you guys did in chapter 7. Actually, it's chapter 8. Here's your table. Don't forget your table here. So we always use this table no matter what, if you do chapter 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So all these chapters will be, this table is so important. So make sure you guys know this table. So since we are rejecting the null and our claim statement has an equal sign because it's same. So if you look at your tables in this case, we have original claim includes an equality, and we reject the null hypothesis. So we will use there is sufficient evidence to warrant rejection of the claim. So this is how you're gonna type your conclusion is there is sufficient evidence. Can I spell it? Evidence to warrant rejection. Don't forget the word warrant rejection is need to use here. Of the claim. And what is your claim in this case? Just copy and paste from your claim statement. We claim that the mean weight of Coca-Cola in the regular is the same as the one for the diet. So this is the claim statements in this case. So we're gonna copy and paste that. Claim that the mean statements of the diet regular Coke is the same as the regular Coke is the same as the diet Coke. So this is the conclusion that we will make in this case. So what you make here is, because they have the warrant rejection, is telling us that these two are not the same. That means that your mu1 is not equals to mu2 because of the word warrant rejection. It's a negation here. So that means that the difference here is not the same in this case. Okay, we have the warrant rejection it. So so in this case, the asking is there is a difference. So that means in this case there is a difference between those two. So that means in this case there is a difference between these two types of soda. Okay, so there is a difference. So again, this question is asking us is, if there is a difference between these types of soda, what can you tell me about the explanation for the difference? This definition, this explanation is exactly the same as what we just used on number 5. Because the reason why they are different here is because diet soda usually use artificial sugar, which weight less than what is used for regular Pepsi or regular soda in this case. So it's the same thing, you just use back cola in this case, or Pepsi or Coke in this case actually. Diet Coke use artificial sugar in this case, which weight less than your regular Coca-Cola. So this is how we do question number 6 in your 9.2 notes.